Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition at Theater at Home. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about set design. My name is Tanisha, and I'm with Hillsborough County Public Library, and I am joined here with Ashley from Creative Arts Theater. Ashley, how are you doing today?
Having a great day so far.
All right, so Ashley, as you know, we like to do with our programs, we're going to go ahead and do a quick book shout out. So today's book shout out can be found on Hoopla, and it is set design and prop making in theater. So if you want to learn after you learn a little bit about set design, if you want to take a deeper dive, I definitely recommend this book. And again, that can be found on Hoopla on the library's website. So Ashley, before we dive into today's videos, did you have anything to say to our audience?
After you watch this video, you might want to grab some paper, pencils. You might even want to grab a shoebox if you have one, and that'll make more sense when you watch it.
All right, thank you so much. So remember, guys, join us after the video for the Q&A, and we'll see you here in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Creative Arts Theater, the City of Tampa's professional theater company for young audiences. And today, we're going to learn how to design a set for the stage. What is theatrical set design? Set is short for the word setting. Setting is the environment where a story takes place. In theater, the set or scenic designers are people who decide what the scenery, the world of the story, will look like. This brings the show to life. Cool! Let's get to designing, right? Actually, before we even start to design, we need to learn as much as possible about the play. The first thing a set designer must do is read the play. Let's read this very short play out loud. It's important to visualize while reading, so you can start imagining what the set might look like.
The Explorers and the Aliens by Mariah Beachboard. Summary. It is a misty day in the jungle. Birds are singing, monkeys are chatting, snakes are hissing, vines are swaying in the breeze. A spaceship has crash-landed somewhere deep in this jungle. A couple of guides lead a group of explorers into the jungle. The guides argue for a moment about the direction. They split up the group. Group 1 crosses downstage left. Group 2 crosses downstage right. Aliens creep up center stage and start making gibberish noises. Groups converge. Stage tableaus, center stage, with different groups interacting together as kids would. Finally, the alien teacher gathers her students to say goodbye. Cast of characters. Guide 1, Guide 2, Explorers Group 1, Adam, Avery, Explorers Group 2, Mary, Dorian, Tyrone, Mrs. Babbleblop, Aliens, Bloppy, Bippy, Scoot, Sloop, Clippy, Pep, Clip, Grood. Setting, a jungle. Up center stage, explorers and guides hike in the jungle.
I'll guide you to the aliens' crash spaceship.
I'll guide you. I know the way.
This is your first day on the job. You don't know how to get through the jungle.
Oh, yes, I do. This way, folks. Crosses center left. Let's follow her.
Come on, folks, let's go this way.
Crosses center right. That's the way to go. Meanwhile, aliens enter up center stage on a field trip, led by alien teacher Mrs. Babbleblop.
You see, children, the trees grow large and green here.
There's a snake.
I see snails.
Is that a parrot?
Earth is weird. Earth is beautiful.
There! Look at the aliens!
There is a domino effect of surprise through explorer groups.
Oh no, it's the people.
Stay calm, do as I do.
She walks in exaggerated manner, holds out hands to guides, then yells,
Hello!
Hello. What's wrong with them?
Yeah, what's wrong with them?
Are they trying to sing? I think they're trying to be nice. It's not nice to shout.
Howdy!
What kind of greeting is that?
Very strange.
I think they're adorable.
Let's see if they want to be friendly.
They look friendly to me.
Groups converge one at a time to stage tableaus center stage, shaking hands, checking out each other's clothes, fist bump, sharing food, ring around the rosy.
Come, children, say scootaloo to the people.
Scootaloo! Mrs. Babbleblop leads aliens back to spaceship.
Wait, what?
You can't go in your ship. You crashed it.
We didn't crash. We always land that way.
Goodbye.
Scootaloo.
End of play.
Now we need to answer a bunch of important questions about this play. If the script doesn't provide us with the answers, we need to make our own choices, as long as they make sense with the story. Time. When does the play take place? The summary says, it is a misty day in the jungle. Therefore, this play takes place during the day, not the night. Does this play take place during a particular month or season? There isn't any specific month mentioned in the text, but I'm going to use some clues in the play to determine what season we might be in. Thanks to the summary, we know it's misty, and that birds are singing, and that there's a breeze. We also know that there are students in this play, and students don't usually go to school in the summer. So I'd say this play takes place in the spring. It's not too hot or too cold, and there aren't any falling leaves to indicate autumn. What is the time period? The play doesn't mention any particular year. Does the play take place in the past, the present, or the future? I think this play takes place in the present, right now. However, you could choose a different time period. So far, we know that this play takes place during the day, in the spring, in the present time. Let's move on to place. Where does the play take place? Where are the characters? The summary says that they're in a jungle with swaying vines. In their dialogue, the characters Clip and Sloop let us know that they're on Earth. What about the climate? It's a misty day, and jungles are similar to tropical rainforests. It's warm and wet in tropical climates. Now, let's determine the mood. Mood is how we feel when we read or see a play. Some examples of mood are serious, lighthearted, gloomy, dreamy, or calm. I think the mood of this comedic play is silly. The last thing we need to figure out before we design are the requirements. What must we have on stage? This play takes place in a jungle, so we must have set pieces that tell us that we're in a jungle, like swaying vines. The guides say that they're leading the young explorers to a crashed spaceship. So we definitely need one of those. Let's review. The Explorers and the Aliens takes place in the present, during the day, in the spring, in a tropical jungle. The mood is silly, and we must have a crashed spaceship on stage. It's time to take what you know and put your design on paper. A set design sketch is another way to say a drawing or 2D version of your set design. Let's look at some examples. Now I'm going to use all of this information and draw my set design. While I draw, you can draw what you think the set should look like. Once your sketch is the way you want it, it's time to color. You can use crayons, markers, watercolors, colored pencils, whatever your artistic hands desire. This play is a comedy, so I'm going to use bright colors. Ooh, nice coloring. Now it's time to make a model. A model is a 3D version of the set. I used a shoebox as my theater. I used items around the house, like plastic lids, old cords, beads, and tissue paper, to build the set pieces. Here, you can see I made a tropical jungle. The play is during the day, so I added a bike light to be the sun shining through the trees.
That's a little lighting design thrown in for you.
I used puff paint to mark a trail where the spaceship crashed. I also made sure not to forget the stage floor. I researched, or looked up, what a jungle floor looks like, and it has a lot of overgrown and tangled vegetation. Thanks for designing with me and Creative Arts Theater. Now it's time for you to make a model of your set design. You can use any box, items from around your house, or craft supplies. Check out the theatrical set design tip sheet and hang tight for questions.
All right, welcome back everybody. And I hope you learned a little bit about set design. Ashley, I learned a lot. I had some flashback to my diorama days back in the day when I used to have to put those together. So that was really super informative.
Good. Yeah.
All right, so a couple of questions from the audience. What is your favorite example of set design?
Ooh. Well, there are some really cool sets that Creative Arts has created in the past. I really liked their Rapunzel set design. It had a lot of boxes, and they used ladders, and there were some clouds that lit up. But outside of Creative Arts, there's an amazing play called Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is also a book. And they did a really cool set design with a lot of projections. So things were projected onto the stage and to the stage floor. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm always impressed by how intricate some of these set designs can be. And I've actually had the privilege of going down to your workshop and looking at some of the things that you guys work on and how intricate and how cool you make them. So thinking of that and thinking about what we just watched with set design, how long does it take you to design one of your sets for one of your shows?
Good question. So it really depends. We don't have a lot of time. If I had a guess, maybe max 3 weeks, but you're not really designing the whole time. So like we have our initial design meeting, which is just kind of a Pinterest board of thoughts. You could even just make a collage of ideas. You know, maybe you're thinking colors and style. And then from there, you need kind of a sketch, which we talk about in the video. And it's kind of a general layout. And then after that, we have a final meeting where everything, all the specifics, whether it be color, textures, sizes, dimensions, because then from there, you have to go buy things. So the construction process seems to take a lot longer than the design. Like you could design, you know, you might be able to do all of that perhaps in a day if you have a full 8 hours, but it depends. So I would say overall, like you have 3 meetings, maybe about 3 to 4 weeks of design meetings and thought and thinking. Before you start actually constructing. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because it is pretty, you know, just the thought process and making something that's on paper, something written down come to life. So that does make a lot of sense. And then finally, and this is something that is definitely of interest to me. So there's a lot of us out there that don't have a lot of acting experience or desire to act, but are really interested in theater and how it works and all that. And today we got to look a little bit at something related to theater and involved with theater that doesn't involve acting. So there are other ways to get involved in theater that do not involve acting.
Yes, there are so many ways. There are creative ways. For example, you can be a playwright, which is someone that writes the play. So they will write that. And then you might have a director who will create that world of the play. You've got costume designers as well as set designers, people who even make props specifically. They're called prop masters or mistresses. And you've got people who construct, so they might be more mechanically minded. You've got lighting designers as well. And also, though, you can still be involved with theater, like behind the scenes in terms of like producing it. So you could be a producer, so you help with the business side of things, or you could even help with the audience. So a house manager makes sure everything runs smoothly in a theater. and they have other people working with them that are ushers that usher people to their seats. So there are really a lot if you still want to be involved with theater, but you don't want to be on stage. And the people who run the lights, and oftentimes that's a stage manager. So they're like the managing the production while it's happening, and they might be calling to the lighting person or somebody else backstage who has to move things. There are so many jobs that are still involved, but not necessarily right there.
Yeah, that makes a lot. When you listed all those, you're like, yeah, that's right. There's all these other things. But as important as the actors are, there's so many other people and so many valuable, important people that are involved in the whole process that make the whole thing an experience and something that everybody wants to see. So thank you for that. That's a good list, a great list of all of the different ways you can.
Like, oh wow, that's right.
Yeah, there's all of these different people here involved. So thank you so much, Ashley, for teaching us a little bit about set design. So like we do with our book shout out, we also like to end with our contact information. So if you need to contact us for any reason, you can contact us by phone, email, chat, text, however you'd like. If you also would like to take a look at the other programs and events that the library is doing, we have our link down there so you can check out our events calendar. And of course, if you want to see what else Creative Arts has going on, what other shows they may have, or what else they have to offer, we have the link to Creative Arts Theater there as well. Ashley, thank you so much for joining me to talk a little bit about set design, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.